Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Joey. Got a quick video for you today. We've been going over in the last couple of videos bands with band leaders, bands with no band leaders, and bands with two band leaders or more, or partnership bands, and kind of the pros and cons of each one of those. And we got a guy today. He says, I see a lot of people talking about having issues with troublesome bandmates. Yeah, I mean, we deal with that a lot in this business. As far as the toughest things you'll have to manage along the way are the band members. And yeah, I'm a drummer with over 55 years of experience. So this gentleman is in his 70s plus, as far as age is concerned. He has more experience being in bands than most of the people I know playing music have been alive. So let that sink in. I have handpicked 6 players, 2 guitarists, bassist, keyboards, male vocalist, and female vocalist congas from 5 different bands that I have played with at one time or another. So basically this guy's just kind of putting together bands from musicians that he's played with. Like if somebody invited him on a side gig, he basically showed up to this side gig and began poaching players from other bands, is what he's saying. That's really nothing to be proud of. That's actually kind of annoying for a band leader to invite you to come out and play on your gig. When you invite that person out, the last thing you kind of want them to do is to start, picking off your players. For one, hopefully you keep all your players happy and then they don't have any reason to kind of look elsewhere. But there's always going to be some knucklehead, that shows up to your sub gig and he's immediately like,
hey, I've got a great gig coming up soon. Wow, this gig is going to pay so much cash. Oh my God, there's going to be food. There's going to be chicks everywhere.
And so they show up to your gig and they're like, okay, well, this, they're immediately looking around for your players. Yeah,
this drummer's competent, this bass player's competent. I can see these guys playing for me.
So this guy's proud that he has gone around and poached from other players, but enough on that. I create a wish. So he says that he creates a wish list of songs that he wants to add. So I'm kind of putting this together here, but he says he comes up with 10 songs and he texts it to everybody in the band. And now it's time for these 10 to go through the approval process. He gives these 10 songs to them and then they look it over and say, oh, I don't like this one, or this song's too political, or this singer was brought up on charges, and so I guess he gives it to them and they look it over, take away or add what they want to add, and we get a final list. So not only do they get to look at these songs, he allows them to add some songs to the list as well. So once this final list is created, everyone learns their specific parts and we show up at the event and play. So this guy is saying that, this list of songs that they go through, everybody is just so phenomenal. He poached these musicians so well. He did such a good job of going out and hand poaching all these players that he can give them this beautiful, amazing list. And then they're so bought in. They're so into it. Everybody has just given it their okay. It's been stamped, good to go. Now he says, we're so amazing that we take this list and we just do it at the gig.
No problem. If you're not that good, what are you doing in music? What are you doing here? If you can't do that, you're not good.
Sorry, dude. You need to spot check these songs before you do them at any kind of an event. Now, granted, the events this guy's probably doing are probably just cheap bar gigs, But if you're going to a wedding or if you're going to a corporate event, with big production, all that, and you attempt to do this list of these 10 songs that you've never done without spot checking them, you're crazy. You might be like hanging out with Cheech and Chong. Because me as a band leader, I'm never going to roll these 10 songs out without at least like, so let me back up. I do this all the time, but in a different way. This isn't how I do it. The way I do it is I email everybody in the band, or I text them. Actually, I don't email anyone. Don't know why I said that. I text everyone in the band and say, hey, this song and this song are going to be 2 songs that we need to get in for, our next event. So with that said, I post YouTube links of the exact version and the key that I want it in, and I give that to the players. So there's no confusion if I tell them to learn Shout by the Isley Brothers and they learn Shout by Tears for Fears. That's the kind of problem that this guy is going to run into. And I doubt that he's spot checking, saying, hey, which song did you learn? No, he's just coming up with this stupid list and people are learning it and then they're going to the gig and they're playing it. So wrong. First of all, you don't give people 10 songs. That's a bit much to ask. I would say 1 is a guaranteed they're going to learn it. 2 is probably guaranteed they're going to learn it. 3 or more, and you're starting to open yourself up to all kinds of situations. And so I give them 1 or 2, and then I give them the YouTube links, and then I even give them a rough lead sheet or chord charts that 1, 4, 5 or whatever. Give them an idea of what the chords are, so they don't have to look up a bunch of stuff. They can just listen to it and be like, yeah, it goes G, A7, D7, and then they don't have to bother. Sometimes that's all that's needed. And then once everybody's kind of put it together, once we get to the gig and we're kind of getting ready to sound check, so I check again, hey everybody, how did this song go and how did that song go? Is there any questions for me, the band leader, music director?
Yeah, I got a question. Do you want to do the key change at the end of the song?
Yeah, and discuss it.
Are we going to do that breakdown in the middle? Are we going to do the bridge? Are we going to, what are we going to do about this part? There's this going on, there's that going on.
So kind of while you're setting up, you're getting an idea of it. Then the next thing I do is once the entire band is set up, now at an event, there's wedding planners walking around, there's venue people walking around, there's all kinds of people walking around early in the event that are potentially going to get annoyed if you're doing a band rehearsal. This is where I get most of my stuff done. I do a lot of my band rehearsals right then and there after the band is set up and we get ready to do the sound check. So I put in my contract that I need at least like an hour. I don't need that long to set up the equipment, but I do need that long to rehearse and to go over stuff. So I will take those 2 songs and then I'll turn everybody around so that everybody's facing the drummer. There's no amps, there's no instruments played loudly. Everybody, the singers are singing without the PA. We just kind of all get into a circle and face the drummer who's playing with brushes. And then we go over hits and stuff. Say, yeah, okay, so, it's like, make sure that everybody's got the hits if it's like an intricate song or whatever. So then you go through and then you just tap it out. That's what I call it. It's called tap it out. Me and the band will sit there and we'll just, tap it out. And then once I feel like we've got a good grip on it, or I feel like everybody's kind of on the same page, then we run it full volume. That's now our sound check. So we run these 2 songs, and at that point, I feel pretty good about it. We're ready to go with the song, and we go. This comes up a lot with the first dance, the parent dances, any kind of special dances we need for the event. That's kind of when we go over it. We don't just run things cold. When you're a low budget bar band, you probably do this. And if I was playing bar gigs, I would probably be more eager to kind of do this kind of thing because the stakes are not so high. You know, at a wedding or a private event, everybody's listening to you. You know, you don't want to look like an ass. All right, so this guy goes on to say, no one experiences any meltdowns or superstar attitudes. So this guy is so incredible at going out and poaching musicians from other bands. He's just like, you know, we are just the greatest group on earth. Everybody gets along. There's no issues. There's no drama. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, I find that hard to believe. Everybody at some point or another when there's no band leader, there's more room for fighting because nobody has like a point of contact where, like, if somebody has an issue with somebody, you know, the bass player says,
say this drummer is just all over the place, busy as hell,
you know, kind of thing, then I can go and say,
hey, drummer, I feel like you're playing too busy.
this if I agree. I tell the drummer not to throw the bass player under the bus. I leave his name out of it. But I'm able to go up to him and say,
what's going on? You know, I mean, you know, we're playing a simple song and you're just like overplaying everything. What's up? Are you bored? Are you not challenged in this group anymore? You're no longer playing for the song. You're playing for yourself. You know, what's going on?
And, you know, then I can approach the situation in that way because I'm a band leader. And I'm able to do that because I hired him. The bass player, on the other hand, who has the problem with the drummer, you know, doesn't want to cause any chaos. You know, I mean, a lot of times they just kind of want to put that info out there and
say, hey, can I be private in that?
And yes, you can. I will never throw you under the bus if you're in my band and you come to me with legitimate situation. Now, if I don't agree with you with the bass player, then I'll say,
well, I don't know, I'm kind of fine with this. So, you know, just continue on. You know, don't worry about that kind of thing. Let me worry about it. If I sense it's becoming an issue or I sense it's becoming a problem, then I'll bring it up. But right now, I don't think it is.
Everyone knows their place in the chemistry and the result is awesome. So that could be true. This could be like a band where everybody just really gets along well. There's no pressure. There's nothing at stake. You know, you just get out, you go to the bar, you play your gig, you have your beers afterwards, you go home, you know, and you watch The Price is Right. I would say the norm is there's usually some kind of drama here and there. There's always going to be anytime you put groups of people together, especially musicians who tend to be very passionate about what they do. They really care about what they do. And it takes a group of people to get the job done, you know. These players are all professional and knowledgeable. So he did such a good job at poaching these professional and knowledgeable people. He's just really just patting himself all over the back, just super excited with the job he did at being a very poor side guy that somebody invited him to play on their gig and then he took their players. So anyone can do this. So if you're experiencing trouble with your band, it's probably because someone isn't in it for the right reasons. Good luck, everybody. You know, I mean, for what I do, we're in it to play music and have fun. We're also in it to make money. You know, I'm going to choose players that, you know, first of all, are good to be around, you know, good people. And second of all, sound good. And third of all, work well with me. Basically, once I kind of find that combination in people, you know, I tend to keep those people around and keep calling them. This guy really likes his position. He really feels like he's unlocked the, you know, the key to the universe. His way is the best way. This way is no band leader, nobody really running the ship, that kind of thing. That could work for low budget bar gigs, but I would say upper end private events and going after the real money, probably not so much. So that's all I got for you today. Take care.